Welcome everybody to a brand new video. Later on in this video, I want to talk about Call of Duty, but before we do that, I just want to mention really quickly what you're seeing on screen. After some community feedback, we are changing the damage per tick on the first circle for Apex Elite Q. First circle will be reduced from 15% damage per second to 7% damage per second. Now, I don't want to talk about the update necessarily, but you see all this stuff that they're talking about here? This is what I like from game developers. They are transparent with their fans. They tell us exactly what they're doing. They don't just slide it under the radar. See, this is what I want to relate it to with Call of Duty. In Call of Duty, you would never get this type of transparency, but Respawn Entertainment, they got it down. They're gonna tell you what they're doing with this game and actually keep you in the loop. Good job, Respawn Entertainment. I fucking wish more game studios would do this shit. Sorry, I just have to give Respawn Entertainment props because I haven't actually logged into Apex, and I just logged in for the first time today trying to record this video, and I saw that, and I was like, damn, this is something I gotta shout out. But anyway, I know how I related it to Call of Duty and how Call of Duty aren't transparent with their fan base and such, and I will touch on Call of Duty later on in this video, but for now I just want to talk about something that literally just happened about an hour ago, and oh my lord, it fucking sucked. So I was having a good day. I was gonna be in work today for 9 hours. I had a 9-hour shift from 11 until 8 o'clock in the afternoon. However, that actually ended up changing. There were some things going on at my work which basically allowed me to leave earlier if I wanted to. I had the choice if I wanted to leave earlier or not. And so I thought, hey, I have to record a video, edit it, and upload it. And if I get home at about 9 o'clock, it's gonna be really difficult for me to get this video out on time. Probably gonna get it up at around 1 or 2 in the morning, which is not something that I want to do. I don't want to stay up that late to put a video out, especially seeing as I have work tomorrow as well, but luckily not in the morning. But anyway, I was able to leave work at 6 o'clock, so instead of having a 9-hour shift, I had a 7-hour shift, and I was in a good mood. I was happy about this because a 9-hour shift is just so draining, and I was just really happy that I could come home early. I could finish 2 hours early. I don't know if I'm going to get paid the same, probably not. I get paid off of how much I actually stay at my job, but I thought to myself, this is great. I could get home and I could actually get my video out on time. So you know what? I'm chilling. I'm ready to get some food, then go and actually record a video so I can put it up tonight. And then I go through my pockets and I start emptying out my pockets because, you know, I came home from work. I take my pants off. I get into my own clothes. I'm in a good mood as well because my work shoes actually came in. And by the way, this is what they look like. They look really fucking good. They make me look skinny as hell, probably because they're black. I'm gonna watch this guy. Just for a second. Just for a second. I wonder if something fishy is going on. I wonder if there's something fishy going on with this guy. I wonder if this guy's hacking by any chance. Oh, would you look at that? This guy has perfect accuracy. Oh, he's just slaying squads like it's no big deal. Let's report this guy really quickly. Oh, I can't just come on here and make a video without having to run into hackers, dude. Come on. Respawn, I gave you some props, but that is something you gotta work on. You gotta get these hackers out of my fucking game. But anyway, I empty my pockets as I said, and then all of a sudden, what comes out of my pockets is the key to the place where I work, and I forgot to leave it with them. And so at this point, I'm fucking panicking because they have to close the store in 45 minutes and my bus takes half an hour to get over there. And so I check my phone super quick. When is the bus due? And I see that it's due in 1 minute, and I sprint out of my apartment to the bus stop, and there are people waiting there, and I was waiting there for like 10 minutes and the bus never came. And I was like, dude, this is not the time for the bus to not arrive. And it's getting closer to 8 o'clock when these guys have to leave and they don't have the key to the store, and I'm just thinking, dude, what the fuck am I gonna do? I have no way to get in. And so I go back home, I call my mom who's not home yet, and I'm like, Mom, where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm on the bus, I'm on the way home. And I'm like, when are you gonna get home? She says 5 minutes. And then I tell her, Mom, I need you to drive me into work because I have the keys to the workplace and I forgot to give it to them, and if I don't give it to them, they will not be able to close the store, and this is really bad. And at that point, my mom was probably thinking that she should have aborted my ass. But anyway, we had 25 minutes to get to my job, and we got there in about 20 minutes. It was 5 minutes from locking up the entire store, and I walked up to my colleague and he looked panicked. He looked like he was really looking for something, probably the keys. I texted the guy beforehand. I was like, dude, I took the keys accidentally. I'm on my way. I'm gonna get them back to you, but I don't know if he saw the text message. And then I just walk up in front of him with the keys. He just smiled so happily. You could just see the relief on his face, and he's like, Thank you. I am so happy that I noticed when I did, because if I somehow didn't notice that I had the keys with me all along, they would have had to sit outside of the store for like an hour waiting for my ass to come back to give them the keys to lock up the store. And honestly, that is not the type of impression I want to make just a few weeks into my job. Man, the anxiety that was going through my mind was just insane. I was trying to keep calm and just think of solutions. I was like, think, Brandon, how are you going to get to your job in half an hour with no transport? And I just happened to be so incredibly lucky that my mom was right about to get home and was able to actually drive me. That was just a roller coaster of shit fuckery, and honestly, every single time I leave from my work now, I'm gonna check my pockets, make sure I don't take anything that I shouldn't take with me. This isn't exactly the first time this has happened as well. I remember once I walked out of my workplace with my girlfriend Ayeshi, and luckily just a few minutes later I realized that I had the keys in my pocket, so it was very easy to come get them back, but I was already home by this point, and I had absolutely no idea how I was going to make it on time so that these guys wouldn't have to wait for me, because I just didn't want to make my colleagues wait for me to bring back the keys. They have their own lives. I didn't want to complicate them. So eventually, after I gave the keys, we started driving back, and now it's almost 9:30. Basically when I would have started my video if I finished at 8 o'clock, and yeah, I'm just salty about that. This whole situation was just a mess. It could have easily been avoided if I just realized that I had the keys in my pocket. But I guess that if I'm going to focus on the positives, at least I managed to actually get the keys back and get them back on time as well, because if I didn't, that would have just been a huge headache. If I didn't realize that I had them and then they would have had to wait like an hour after closing, that would have just been really bad on my part, and I'm happy that that didn't have to be the case. At the end of the day, I got the keys to them before closing, and that was all I had to do. Still though, it was a close call. But anyway, towards the second half of this video, I want to talk a little bit about Call of Duty, and yeah, it's some negative news. Like, we don't get that every single week with Call of Duty. One of the big things that I was excited for the next Call of Duty was that the campaign was going to be realistic and actually depict the really harsh realities of war, the horrible things that happen in the military, in war in general, because as we all know, war is probably one of the worst things humans can actually cause. And I was looking forward to the next Call of Duty because the campaign was supposedly going to be gritty, it was going to be realistic and show these horrible parts of war. But it turns out the media may have actually won, because I'm hearing that there are leaks at the moment going around saying that Call of Duty is actually going to be cutting back on these missions, making it so that the campaign isn't going to be as offensive as we initially thought it was going to be. And all I have to say is that I'm disappointed. For a company that makes so much money, who could profit so much off of something like this, not that it's obviously a good thing to profit off of tragedies, but you should be able to depict war in a realistic sense. I understand that some people are going to be offended, but if these are real issues, why don't we bring awareness to them? Why don't we let developers actually shine a light on these issues so that maybe one day we could work towards eradicating things like these? Now, obviously, that's a huge best case scenario. I'm not saying that video games are going to all of a sudden end terrorism in the world, but all I'm going to say is that if you're going to be respectful towards these tragedies and these horrible things that happen in the world, you should be able to depict them in a realistic light and not cut back on it because you're afraid of offending certain groups of people. I think it's ridiculous, and honestly, I'm just extremely disappointed with this whole situation. I'm not saying you should be able to showcase absolutely anything in a video game, but when it's supposed to be a realistic depiction of war, you should be able to depict anything as long as it actually happens. Unfortunately, rape against civilians does happen in war. It's unfortunate, it shouldn't happen, but it does. Civilians get killed in war. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Terrorism and corruption are a thing in war, and these things should absolutely be brought to light in the next Call of Duty. And the fact that they're probably not going to include some of these missions just simply because certain groups of people are going to be offended, I think that's ridiculous, and I really, really hope that this isn't true. I hope they keep the missions in. I hope that they go all out and don't go half-heartedly into this campaign. All I wish is that this next Call of Duty is going to be incredible, and I hope that the campaign can be incredible as well. I don't really care too much about the multiplayer side at the moment because we don't have much information, but at least make the campaign good, and don't focus on all these people who are just saying, oh my god, it's gonna be offensive, and it's gonna hurt people. people, listen. People find everything offensive these days. Censoring these types of things after claiming that they are going to be in the game honestly just seems really disrespectful to me, and I don't feel like it's going to serve a justice to the suffering that goes behind war. I really hope that some of these decisions are reconsidered and that we have a great campaign that is realistic and really captures the horrible aspect of war. But unfortunately, it looks like we're going down the route of censorship, and I'm just extremely sad to hear that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that this is absolutely ridiculous? Because I sure as hell do. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say, so leave a comment. Come on, don't be shy, I don't bite. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date with my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.